Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe. So today we will read Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, verse 232. May I meet the King of Relishers, Sri Krishna, who is like a swan in a deep Rasa lake of Radhika's heart, who holds beautiful bamboo flute in his hand that pours streams of quality of nectar into the ear, who wears a crown of peacock feathers on his head that moving at every step, and who wears earrings and string of gunja beads that were made by some gopi. I will repeat the words. May I meet the King of Relishers, Sri Krishna, who is like a swan in the deep Rasa lake of Radhika's heart, who holds a beautiful bamboo flute in his hand that pours streams of quality of nectar into the ear, who wears a crown of peacock feathers on his head that moving at every step, and who wears earrings and strings of gunja beads that were made by some gopi. I think that Gurudev disappeared. Connection from Vrindavan just broke, but we will continue. So before we start to read the commentary of our beloved Anantadas Babaji, we should understand when we hear this kind of verses which are glorifying Krishna, every word is glorifying Krishna, like a king of relishers. We should understand the mood from which person is glorifying Krishna. And also, we should understand the context. Now Gurudev is coming. All right. In just a second. I want to put him on my screen. Yeah. So Gurudev, we in this short break, waiting for you, I just explained when we listen this kind of verses in which devotee is praising and glorifying Krishna, we should understand from which mood and which mellow is in devotee's heart. Then
this is
yes, please, Gurudev, help us.
This is Prabodhan. Who is writing this book?
Prabodhananda Saraswati Gurudev with Anantadas Babaji commentaries.
Radha Das Sudhanidhi.
Yes, Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi.
Prabodhananda, na?
Yes, Gurudev.
So he was Vidya, Sakhi, and he became Manjari. So he's showing Sakhi Bhav and Manjari Bhav.
So every time when we hear this kind of words, we should immediately try to catch the mood. From which mellow?
Yeah, Sakhi is talking or Manjari is talking.
Yes. And now, explanation by Baba, Rasik devotee, and your explanations will come to clarify more. Because many verses in Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, and especially in Utkali Kavarali, are focusing on Krishna. But if we have natural feelings, attraction for him, we will understand only one way.
Yeah.
But if we have another kind of mood, more like a maidservants of Radhika, then immediately we will understand and feel same words in a different and from the different angle.
Right. In Russian class, they are reading physical vocabulary.
Yeah.
They said, I will like to change Vilapa Samadhi. I said, no. Read, I will explain how to see Manjari Bhav.
Wow.
Where is the Manjari, where is the Sakhi looking, feeling, and how Manjari is feeling.
Wow. So nice, Gurudev. I choose these words just because in these words it's very clear. These differences, it's very clear. But it depends on the heart propensity of devotee.
And one thing more you will see.
Yes.
Not independent Krishna, Radha's Krishna.
Always.
One Krishna we meditate in beginning time, God Krishna. Here is mentioned Radha's Krishna. But Krishna, so this is Sakya.
Yeah. And Braj Krishna also.
Right. Yeah,
because Braj
but
Krishna.
Is also Sakya.
Yeah.
Sakya is read more.
Yes, Gurudev, because the subtitle under the words is searching for the king of relishers. So this word searching, should we search for king of relishers from the Sakhi Bhav mood or from the Manjaris point of view and angle? And Baba is giving here example in the form of Lila, how Manjaris are searching and why they are searching for the king of relishers. Their reason is completely different than reason of searching of the gopis. Yes, for Radhika's pleasure. They are searching, and it's very dramatic, you know. This lila will be very dramatic, full of tears.
Yeah. Read.
Okay. Yes, Gurudev. Commentary. Sri Radha's love makes the king of relishers, Sri Krishna, to relish the sweetness of her pique. Stubbornness, proud anger, rebuking, unreasonable behavior, and so on. Everything is done for his pleasure. So in the beginning, Baba is clearly establishing love between Radha and Mohan. And from this love, which is always present deeply in Radhika's heart, all other emotions which appears, and they can be completely opposite to each other's. Happiness and distress, anger and jokes, completely opposite, but they are coming from the same source of Radhika's Mahabhav's heart. These kind of different, unlimited different emotions are giving Krishna unlimited pleasure and makes him king of relishers because he is relishing all Radhika's emotions, pleasant emotions, but also unpleasant emotions. And acharyas are calling this kind of emotions like sanchari bhavs, which are coming, going in the small waves. So, as I understand, Gurudev, Baba is first establishing the power of Radha's love and all different waves of emotions which are coming from Radharani's love, different emotions, makes Krishna king of relishers. No one can make him king of relishers, only Srimati Radhika. Even when she is stubborn, she is so sweet. And he can relish her sweetness, stubborn sweetness. Or maybe she is proud or have some unreasonable behavior. No one knows why she is doing this. Sometimes she is morose. Girls can be morose, and no one knows why. And Krishna is the king of relishers because he's relishing this kind of Radharani's feelings because she is full of most intense love and desire to give him a pleasure by all means. Baba is continuing. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya 20 is said, when Lady Love is angry with Krishna and rebukes him, it satisfies him and makes him so happy. Her mana has suitable proportions, and he will have a little trouble to convince her to give it up. So here, Baba is again very slowly is putting how this mana is helping angerness in Radharani's appearance can turn the nectar of mutual love between Yugala and Kishore. And this man is actually the sign of most pure love, which is constantly going between Radha and Mohan. So Baba is continuing now with the Lila. He established the power of love of Radharani and established present mood of man, which gives Krishna pleasure. Mohan has removed Srimati's peak from outside of the kunja, and now he hides himself in order to taste the sweetness of her love in another way. Srimati asks her girlfriends to bring Mohan back into her kunja, but the Sakis say, Radha, first you throw him out of the kunja. How are we going to ask him to come back now again? Anyway, don't worry. Your pure love will automatically attract him to you again. And if you are still eager to meet him now, then you should send someone else out to bring him back. We managed to throw him out of your kunja, so we won't be able to bring him back now. We throw him out from the kunja. So it means that we will not be able to bring him back. Hearing these words, Srimati orders her maidservant, who stands by her side by fanning her, to go and bring Krishna back to her kunja. Srimati orders her maidservant, who stands by her side, fanning her, to go and bring Krishna back to her kunja. Thinking of Swamini's lotus feet, the maidservant immediately goes out to search for Mohan. Mohan waits in a hiding way to relish the sincere eagerness of the maidservant. Mohan waits, hiding himself, to relish the sincere eagerness of the maidservant, whose face is like a mirror that exactly reflects Swamini's feeling of happiness and sorrow. The maidservant, whose face is like a mirror that exactly reflects Swamini's feelings of happiness and sorrow. Mohan can see Radhika's anxiety clearly reflected on a maidservant's face. Mohan can see Radhika's anxiety clearly reflected on a maidservant's face. Can you say something, Guru? Because here in this part of Lila, we have these different Sakis and Manjaris.
Manjari cannot deny. Sakhi here deny. Because he throw him out, he don't like to go, to bring again. But Manjari is not interested with Krishna. For Radhika, she is going to find it. This is the difference of Seva of Manjari and Sakti. They can deny their friends. Manjari is Dasi, so she cannot deny. Although this is not her desire, for Radhika, she can do anything.
Yeah. And this is the real meaning of searching for Rasik Shekhar from Manjari point of Sthaibhav. When they are searching for Krishna, they are searching on Radhika's order, or maybe she even doesn't order them. They know Radhika's heart and Radhika's desire. And they are going out to find her lover. But like Gurudev said, not for their own pleasure or happiness. No, but just to bring this womanizer, this Mohan, to their Swami. And they will do everything to find him. Everything. And they will search everywhere for him. But with full heart. They will do it with full eagerness and heart. And Krishna Baba is saying here, he wants to see this eagerness, Manjari eagerness, not Sakhi's eagerness, Manjari eagerness. And he is completely fascinated with this Manjari eagerness to satisfy and give the pleasure to Radhika, actually. And he is doing it from the hidden position, from the distance, because he wants to see the climax, culmination of this eagerness. How Manjaris are crying for him, but not for his pleasure. Now we are going on. When the maidservant cannot find Mohan, she anxiously cries out, O Radhanatha, O lordly swan that enjoys swimming in the deep nectarian lake of Radhika's heart. Maidservant anxiously cries, O Radhanatha. What does it mean, Radhanatha Gurudev? It must be some reason why Manjari is calling Mohan, O Radhanatha. Radhanatha. I have no idea.
Radha Pranavallava, Radha's darling.
Can we say you are always dancing in Radhika's heart? Nata?
Yeah.
Dear, most dear of my beloved Radhika. O Radhanatha, O lordly swan that enjoys swimming in the deep nectar lake of Radhika's heart. If my Swamini cannot meet you, the whole world is empty for her. How can you remain indifferent towards her? Please show yourself to this wretched maidservant. Please show yourself to this wretched maidservant. Because I want to bring you to my beloved Swami. This is the reason why I'm crying to you to show in front of me. Now Baba is saying, any aspirant who yearns for Krishna's mercy should cry out to him like this, accepting the mood of humble servant of Sri Radhika. I will repeat again. Any aspirant, any sadhaka who yearns for Krishna's mercy should cry out to him like this, accepting the mood of a humble servant of Sri Radhika. This is the magical herb that attracts and controls Sri Krishna. Devotee, if I may say, sadhaka, who wants to practice Manjari Bhava, also needs mercy of Krishna, because the goal of Manjaris are to serve Yugala Kishore, Radha and Mohan together, and their loving pastimes. So it means that this kind of devotee needs also mercy of Krishna. But in which mood this kind of devotee is approaching to Krishna, crying to Krishna even. So we should be very, very careful to properly understand why some devotees crying for Krishna and also another devotees are also crying for Krishna. From 2, 3, 4 different angles they are crying. And here Gaudiya Vaishnavas are also crying to Krishna, but completely accepting the humble mood of Radhika's maid servant. And when Krishna sees how this candidate, neophyte, sadhaka, is eager, then he is giving his mercy. Because without his mercy, we cannot come from to Radharani, but also without Radhika's mercy, we cannot come to serve her lover. But the only question is, from which bhav we will do it. And it must be clear in the heart, in the consciousness, in the feelings, and for that we need mercy to be fixed in this. Any aspirant who yearns for Krishna's mercy should cry to him like this, accepting the mood of a humble servant of Sri Radhika. This is the magical herb that attracts and controls Krishna. So Krishna is so much attracted to this kind of devotee and his Manjari Bhav that ultimately he understands, I also have to appear like a Radha Sevaka, like a Kinkari, like a Manjari. Gurudev, what's going on through you? Please.
Yeah.
No. How to be fixed, Gurudev, in this strong, in this desire, which has to be completely clear.
We have to be a high in our Manjari. Yes.
So it's also depends on our desire, what we really want. It must be very clear what I really want. The next paragraph is, the maid servant calls out, O Radhanatha, the nectar stream of your flute song is like a magical potion that enchants all the gopis. Why are you still hiding while you can easily remove any proud girl's huff or peak with the flute in your hand? Why you are still hiding while you can easily remove the proud girl's peak with the flute in your hand? I'm not asking you to hear your flute for my benefit, but I know, I have experience how the sound of your flute is so beneficial for Radharani's heart. Just one note from your flute is soothing the burning heart of my Swamini. So why you are hiding? Just play. Then Manjari is continuing after flute. A restless peacock feather moves on your head, and you wear earrings and string of fresh gunja beads that have been made by some gopi. Who is this some gopi? My beloved Swami. I recognize this garland around your neck. She made for you to please you. And these flowers are actually her embrace to you. She's embracing you. Baba is continuing, all these ornaments which you have can easily enchant Sri Radha and all her gopi friends. All their pride disappears when you show your sweet form to them even once. So when I was reading these sentences, especially this description, somehow it came to me, it's also Gopal mantra or Krishna mantra. Isn't it, Gurudev? Because in the Krishna mantra is mentioned Gopi Jana Vallabha. Krishna is someone who is giving the pleasure to gopis, but he is receiving the pleasure from gopis more because he is their Vallabha, their beloved. And from the all gopis, main gopi is Shrimati Radhika. So Manjari is praying here and also sadhaka by chanting Krishna mantra, Gopi Jana Vallabha Swaha, is trying to bring, is meditating, sadhaka is meditating to bring Krishna to Swami. In Lalita Madhava, it is said that while Radhika was staying in the new Vrindavan garden of Dwaraka, suffering from the pangs of her separation from Krishna, Nava Vrinda and Bakula tried to pursue her to go and meet the Lord of Dwaraka. But Srimati refused, saying, "My mind doesn't accept any form of Hari, however extraordinary it may be. If it does not have a crown of peacock feathers on the head, a garland of a big kunja beads around the neck, or a flute to the mouth." Radhika is saying, my mind doesn't accept any form of Hari, however extraordinary it may be. If it doesn't have a crown, peacock feather on the head, garland of a big kunja beads around the neck, or a flute to the mouth. So Radhika doesn't want to accept any form of her lover if he is not Rajendra Nandan. And knowing this, Manjari, Prabodhananda Saraswati, in the mood of Manjari, is praising these Krishna's ornaments in the words, praising his flute, praising his peacock feather, not because he's praising him for his or her own benefit, but knowing my Radhika doesn't want to meet any other Krishna, Dwarakadish, Narayan, or whatever, whoever is, but only Dhira Lalitra, Rajendra Nandana. So I'm expressing, Prabodhananda Saraswati Manjari Mood is saying, I'm expressing the mood, desire of my beloved Swami. We can say something else about this. Maybe Gurudev can help us because it's hidden here, and he gave a few years ago one nice explanation about that. Gurudev, if you can hear, yeah. In Lalita Madhava, it is said that while Radhika was staying in New Vrindavan garden of Dwaraka, suffering from the pangs of separation from Krishna, Vrinda and Bakula tried to pursue her to go and meet the Lord of Dwaraka. But Srimati refused.
She never thought from Vrindavan. Even Kurukshetra or Dwarka is she never goes. Dwarka Leela or Kurukshetra Leela, these are Anangamanjari job. She sent there to Anang. And she never go out from Vrindavan, and Brajan Nandan never go out from Vrindavan. Both are not going out. What we know, many Rasik who meditate and doing this, they know read, go to Srimad Bhagavad class when a crew come to Vrindavan. After that, they are not listening. Because this Akrur, when he come, then Narayan Krishna come out from Jamna and he went out. After that, Brajan Nandan Leela is not there. This is Narayan Krishna. It's a very deep subject, right? Everybody will know.
Yes, good. But it's very good that you say this in a short way, that we understand that Radhika never leaves. Also, Mohan, Rajendrana never leaves, never ever leaves Vrindavan. And even the...
Kurukshetra pastime mentioning that is
Yes.
not, this was Anangmanjari.
Yeah. This
They
is
are never
specific
said,
mood.
they are one soul, body. They cannot live separate. No way out for them. They are one soul. This
This is,
lila they are doing for their happiness, to each other happiness, and to give taste to us.
yeah. This kind of lilas will never give us the taste for Manjari Bhav. So we should always be very careful which kind of lilas we are listening, which can increase and nourish our Manjari Bhav. Otherwise, if we cannot follow and recognize this mellow, we can ruin our spiritual hankering and desires, because by listening lilas, different lilas with different moods.
I will suggest not read the book who write for selling, for their benefit for money. Only
Yeah,
read the Rika's book.
yes,
What realize soul who write about the path.
that's the point. And we should read these books also with the close, intimate help of Guru and Rasik devotee who is in that mood. Otherwise, if we read this book, we will not understand without their explanations. All kinds of deviations which are already present in our consciousness will put us astray. So many
Where you
subtle.
live, what you read, there are two about Krishna, two or three. All you have to read, all three very nicely mentioned. In Radha Sudhanidhi, nearby there are two, three. What they are searching for Krishna.
Mm. Yeah.
See that?
You mean 2, 3
Three
words? Or,
verses.
hmm?
Yeah, two or three verses, not
Yeah.
one.
Yes, Gurudev, because next one is explaining more in more detailed way. Yeah.
So if you have time, explain all three more different. It will be very
233. I was reading 232, and now we can continue on 233 words because it's more clearly explained. And some verses are so connected between each other. We cannot put one and extract one out of others. Like Gurudev saying, to get more clear picture. So the verse 233 is, this jewel of great debauchees, who suddenly pulls at some gopis' new garment, who touches some gopis' bread with his murali flute, and holds another gopis' hand, but who always falls at the soles of Sri Radha's lotus feet, This jewel of great debauchees wanders over the pathways of Vrajapura. And Baba is saying nicely in his commentary, the maidservant anxiously cries out for Rasika Mauli, Krishna, and Krishna stays in hiding to watch her loving eagerness. In the Rasa Lila, Srimad Bhagavatam, it is shown that Krishna disappeared from the gopis to worship them in secret. Sri Sridhar Swami comments on these words, Bhagavatam 10:32-21. I disappeared and I stayed away from you, gopis, just to hear your loving talks. In this way, I worshipped you. I disappeared and I stayed away from you just to hear your loving talks. And in this way, I worshipped you. In the same way, Krishna worships Sri Radha by listening to the loving lamentations of her maidservants from a secret place. In the same way, Krishna worships Sri Radha by listening to the loving lamentations of her maidservants from a secret place. Then, when he sees the maidservant's eagerness reaches its zenith or culmination, he comes out of hiding and reveals himself to the ecstatic maidservant, who will then bring him back to her Swami. So, I will repeat, I underlined in my book, and this is very subtle, how Krishna also is worshipping Srimati Radhika through the eagerness of her maidservant. Baba is giving first example how Krishna was worshipping gopis by hiding himself in a secret place. They couldn't see him, but he saw their condition, their suffering, and then he relished their loving talks about him. So we see how through the ears we can worship someone whom we love or recognize through our ears how my beloved loves me from the secret distance, from the secret place. For that, we need sensitive hearts, full of purity. And here, like Guru Devi says, is two kinds of bhavas when Krishna is hidingly listening, loving conversation between Sakhis who are praising him. And this is one kind of bhava. And he is relishing one kind of Sakhi bhava, how they love him. But Baba is saying, he worships Sri Radha by listening to the loving lamentations of her maidservants. He is completely amazed how much love they have for her. All emotions are reflecting on Manjari's all Swarup in existence. Each pore of Manjari form is like a small particle of the mirror which is reflecting all Radhika's emotions. Each pore, each part of the Manjari's body is a mirror of Radhika's emotions. Why? Because they are completely drowned in the ocean of Radhika's Rasa, Sudhanidhi, ocean of all Radhika's emotions. And we know whatever comes in the contact with Mahabhava, with the pure love, automatically becomes. And yesterday, in our local Croatia Zoom Sangha on a Friday, we were reading Gurudev's words and explanations about Rasagula. So for Rasagula, we need two ingredients, cheese and this nectar, this sugar tasty liquid, juicy. And when we put these balls of cheese in this liquid, after some times, these balls of cheese are so much soaked with this juice, with this rasa. They are accepting all qualities of the juice, all emotions of the juice, all the feelings, all the thoughts of all the expertise of the juice. And they are becoming so tasteful, relishable, and rasa good. This is rasa good. So manjaris are rasa good. They are completely soaked in Radharani's feelings. They are rasa good. And Gurudev was explaining, by the mercy of the Gurudev, he can put us, disciple, in this amrita, this dry cheese. Guru is putting in this sweet sherbet, sweet nectarian honey of Radhika's love. So it's not that every cheese can become rasagul. For example, stinky French cheese, if you put in this amrita, cannot become rasagul. If you put the salty cheese with so many spices also in the amrita, no. Because it's full, these kind of cheeses are full of other flavors, other influences, other mellows. This cheese has to be pure, without any influences. Chittavrit, pure mozzarella. And when you put this cheese, which is dry, still it's dry, untasteful, but has desire to be in deep ocean of Amrita, to be soaked by the Guru Kripa, the heart of devotee is like this cheese which he is putting in this juice. This is going for devotee, but also it's going to Krishna. Why Krishna is Rasika Shekhar? Because he is Rasagul. Without Rasa, he is a dry cheese. Without Rasa, without this Amrita, he is a dry. But when he is soaked in Radharani's love, he feels completely unlimited, undescribable happiness. And this is why he is so sweet, because Radhika's sweetness manifested, reflected on him. And when we put the two sweetnesses together, Krishna is sweet, but manjaris are also sweet. So they are both reflecting Radhika's sweetness. So only manjaris can express such kind of intensity of love and cry for Krishna, please come to my Swamini, because they are mirrors of Radhika's sweetness, Radhika's love, Radhika's qualities, Radhika's expertise in everything. In the same way I'm reading now, Krishna worships Sri Radha by listening to the loving lamentations of her maidservants. He is listening these lamentations from a secret place. Then, when he sees that maidservant's eagerness, reaches its zenith, it comes out of hiding and reveals himself to the ecstatic maidservant, who will then bring him back to her Swami. You see how position of Manjari is so unique. She is crying for Krishna, but when he appears, she doesn't say, "Oh, finally, Krishna appears in front of me." No, finally you appear that I can bring you to my Radhika. This is Manjari Bhav. Gopis, Sakis will never do it. They will cry for Krishna. And when he appears, because of their eagerness, they will say, "Oh, finally, my dear, I can give you a pleasure. Take this body. Take my kisses. Take my embraces to the utmost of your pleasure." But Manjaris will never do it. So when we are reading these words and these verses, we should tune as much as we can our hearts to the hearts of eternal perfect Manjaris. This is the only way how Manjari Bhav can enter slowly, progressively, slowly but surely in the heart of sadhaka. There is no other way. And in that way, maybe one day we can become Rasa Guru, not dry cheese or French cheese or whatever, but Rasa Guru. And then what will happen? Sadhaka will spread his sweetness, which is a reflection of Radhika's sweetness. His seva will be sweet, and he or she will give and gives and gives sweetness to all living entities. Conditioned soul doesn't have a sweetness. Only pure spiritual person has this kind of sweetness because he already became Rasaguru. And no one who is not Rasaguru cannot approach Radhika. First we should become Rasaguru and then offered to Rasika. Radha, Rasa, Sudhanidhi to Radhika. And this is our prayer, our crying, our eagerness. And we should have a faith that Radhika, Mohan, Guru Dev, Guru Manjari, all our beautiful acharyas, they are looking, hidden from the secret places, how intense we really want this goal. So Krishna is worshipping Radhika by looking eagerness of Manjaris, because he knows from which source this eagerness is coming from. You see how Manjaris are important? How this silent, hidden seva and existence is so important. So just by listening about the beauty of this beautiful, eternal, perfect Kinkaris, their love, their sweetness can start to reflect in all existence, step by step, in all existence of sadhaka. And for that, we need complete shelter of Radharani's maidservants. If someone wants to say something, because it's very busy in Gurudev's room, I don't know who is here because I have only his room on my screen. I like to talk to him. Sorry, not only to you. First to him, but if you catch something, that's okay. If not, I also fine. Okay. Meanwhile, Radhika has become very upset because Krishna is not with her. So her girlfriends take her along on the fourth path. Suddenly, Nagara Raja comes to them with a maidservant and falls at Srimati's lotus feet, praying for her mercy. The Sakis say, You see now Saki's completely different mood is starting. Out of the way, you. Get out of you here. We are going home. Our Saki doesn't want anything to do with the jewel of a great womanizer like you anymore. Krishna is not just called one womanizer, but the jewel of all great womanizers, because his debauchery is most attractive. In Prema Samputa it says, Sri Radha told Mohan, who has disgust as a demigoddess, O Saki, because of its debauchery, this love makes my beloved fresh and every moment, and its savor is very intoxicated indeed. It delights the three worlds like a stream of nectar, but it also burns like the sun at the time of universal destruction. In other words, the hero enjoys ever fresh savor as long as he can always meet new heroines. This keeps him blossoming with eagerness. At the same time, the heroine goes through wonderful feelings of separation and dreams of possible future enjoyment with her hero. Just as the moon delights the three worlds with its nectarian rays, Prema gives the hero and heroine always new and fresh savor of meeting. And just as the sun burns the worlds at the time of universal destruction, the burning of separation tears apart the hearts of the hero and heroine. But this burning is again a special type of taste, of savor, like the blending of nectar and poison. This mixture of nectar and poison cannot be relished from materialistic consciousness. For that nectar, because it's completely opposite of our experience in material world, when we mix poison and nectar, it's completely mess. We cannot appreciate, we come to the point that we cannot appreciate even the nectar, or what to speak about poison, when they are mixed together. They ruin the taste of each other. But transcendental love is full of this kind of poison and nectar, and when they are mixing together, this is undescribable Rasa, juice. And when by the Kripa devotee is in this juice, then all his Swarup is becoming more stronger because it's filled with Rasa. By looking at their faces, Mohan sees that Radhika and her friends have become pleased with him. So he pulls now what he is doing. When he sees when the gopis and Radhika are pleased with him, what he is doing now? He pulls at the cloth of one gopi who tried to stop him on the way. He's taking revenge now. I remember what you did, and now I will strip away all your clothes. He touches another gopi's braid with his flute, and he pulls another one by the hand. But then he falls at the lotus feet of Sri Radha, like a bumblebee falling on the lotus flower, leaving all other inferior flowers.
Radhe Radhe Gauranga. It's Mayuga
Yes.
Shakti Radhe.
Yeah, I recognize your voice.
I just felt when you read this sentence that Krishna is pulling on the the pulls on the cloth of the gopis and try to touch them and the braid and everything. I just felt he would never do this to a manjari. He would never dare to do this. Or if he does, he would get immediately like, go away, don't touch me. And this is also so sweet to feel here this difference, no, between Sakhi Bhav and Manjari Bhav. Yeah. And I'm relishing your class so much. I was laughing to myself when you made this, when you explained so nicely the differences between Manjari Bhav and Sakhi Bhav, or also with the cheeses. So next time when I eat rasagul, I will think of your sweet words. And when you mentioned the different cheeses, you know that you cannot take every cheese or the stinky cheeses on friends. This is perfect because we need these images you create for us so we can remember. And also what you mentioned at the beginning, that it's so important if we are listening to Krishna Katha, that we stay fixed in our Manjari mood and Bhav, because this can really help us that we also relish this Krishna Katha, but from Manjari Bhav view. And this really helps me because, yeah, you know, with the different sanghas and, you know, my situation. So this can really help me a lot. And thank you so much. So sweet class.
Yeah. Outside, we can be kind, polite, no problem. Give respects to everyone. Everyone. Vaishnavas is giving respects to everyone, especially to Vaishnavas. But our inner choice is to whom we follow. To give respect and to follow someone, it's two different things. And for that, we need intelligence and proper discrimination. And if we don't know the difference, and if we are not fixed in difference between Sakhis, Manjaris, Sancharis also, then our cheese, which has to be prepared for Rasagula, to become Rasagula, will be always full of different flavors. And if we put cheese with different flavors in Amrita, it doesn't work. Cheese has to be pure, chittavu. So, thank you, my Yoga Shakti, for your sharing. Different kinds of rasagulas. It's not every rasagula is Manjari Bhav. We should find the person who is making manjaris or rasagulas of manjaris and taste their flavor, their taste. And for that reason, Gurudev today was saying, be careful what you are reading. Don't read books which are meant for fame, name, glory, money, pratishta, lobha, puja, without any realization. Only Rasik books, true Rasik explanations. Then it will be clear, and then it will be not confusion. This is at least what we sadhakas can do. We cannot do so much, but at least to have clear what we want and what we don't want. We cannot expect I will do whatever I want and mercy will change me. No, mercy can come, but again, I will become the old one.
And we will be Shiva, not Radha, no Rupa.
Yeah.
Many want to be Vediva. Externally practicing. Takes long time.
Because many flavors are present in our heart, many influences, and desire for one point cannot be clarified.
It takes time to understand.
Yes, even to understand what to speak, to live and practice.
Understand and realize, then is our subject.
Yes. No, Jai Damodar, Radha. So, Gurudev, we finished these 2 verses. It
2 or
was
3.
2. 2. Maybe devotees at their homes now we have a hints. Maybe we can search to find the more, because searching is also the process of practice. We cannot wait.
But in the
Everything.
last what you find, some guest was there, so I cannot meditate. Can you repeat it?
Yes, Gurudev. I would like to repeat you one thing. Your guest just came in that moment when we started to read this from Srimad Bhagavatam. And it's very clearly differences between Sakhi Bhav and Manjari Bhav.
Right.
In the moment of Lila. Just few sentences is described. It's Srimad Bhagavatam is said, Krishna is talking to gopis. This is the situation. I disappeared and I stayed away from you just to hear your loving talks. In this way, I worshipped you. In the same way, Krishna worships Sri Radha by listening the loving lamentations of her maid place. Then, when he sees that maid servant's eagerness reaches its zenith, culmination, he comes out of hiding and reveals him to the ecstatic maidservant, who will then bring him back to her Swamini. He is talking to gopis. I disappeared and stay away from you just to hear your loving talks. And in this way, I worshipped you. Then Baba is adding, in the same way, Krishna worships Sri Radha by listening to the loving lamentations of her maidservants from a secret place. Then, when he sees that the maidservant's eagerness reaches its zenith, he comes out of hiding and reveals himself to the ecstatic maidservant, who will then bring him back to her Swami.
Yeah.
Krishna is secretly hiding himself from the Sakhis, who are very in loving, sweet way are praising him and lamenting for him. In Srimad Bhagavatam it said. And in that way, he is worshipping them through his ears, and with all his heart, he is catching their feelings for him. And when he is pleased, for their pleasure, he appears in front of them. But Manjari Bhava is more sophisticated, is more subtle. And Krishna has to be more subtle that he can relish lamentations of Manjaris. In the same way, Baba is saying Krishna worships Sri Radha by listening to the loving lamentations of her maidservants. He is listening loving lamentations of her maidservants from a secret place. Then, when he sees that maidservant's eagerness reaches its zenith, culmination, he comes out of hiding and reveals himself to the ecstatic maidservants. But what maidservants are doing? They are not offering him their bodies, their embraces, their kisses like a Sakhis. No, they are bringing him back to their Swami.
This is our lesson. Our last lesson.
Baba. Example, pure example of Babu. Simple pure example of Bhagavasra.
Yeah.
We can stop Gurudev here.
Yes.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Gurudev. Jai all devotees. Thank you very much for your all participation. I'm sorry if I made any mistake. Sorry for my arrogance. Please give me your mercy that I can make any advancement. Radhe.
Beautiful.
No.
So nice.
You are beautiful. You all devotees are so beautiful, so sweet. I'm dry cheese.
Thank you. Thank you. How many are they looking? How many? Yeah.
Shri Radhe. Oh, Kishoriji, I see you now. In the corner. Yeah. Radhe, Radhe. My embrace to Shridhar. Radhe, Radhe.
And Darshan is also here. He's hiding here. Come in front.
So nice, Gurudev.
Yeah.
When he is there, we are also there.
Yeah.
In his heart, we
He's
are
great.
coming.
He's great Mahatma.
Yeah.
Radhe Radhe Gaur